Ua whaleo ngai nei le no fwai ngā Trump le tau fia o le whao ngai no tupe a le wheturale. Mafuli uma fina ngalo te mau le antunu ue a vea ta anga sa i te molinga ma komisina o leo leo. Ma e to lusi furvalu i lantou atu i nātu iai pepa e whaari ai o lantou soli tu lafono. O te whaatala whantu i se whaupoponga fōle nei o tātou tala mai lau KVZK, whaafti tele le whaatasi mai li tātou tunu. E to moantu i tātou tala o nei a fiafi, wa whaale au ngaina nei le polo inga le afionga le presidente o Amerika, e tusa mase vavao i le whao ngai no tupe le malo o lo fiso swani, i no ngā tupe whaalaput putonga tu maoti, whape le whaatupeina o nisi o polo kalama le wheturale. Sao te nei o le ripunti. E pei ona si la fia o lea vavao o no le tau mawhainga a le li presidente ia Trump malana no fo inga ina ia ilo ma toe vaai ai vaenga uma o lo a ngai ai tupe le malo ai mai se oni ai tala fo le malo o lo iai pei tai ua to te le whaala putonga manisio vaenga o tutonu le whainga malo walanto manatu le fuafuanga wa le tusa ai matu la fono ma e le o langolanga wina i tutonu le whaavai o le malo tele e te leni a fianga i por kalama ua whaata oto e whao ngai na iwe soani tupe mai li wheturale ai o se whautuanga i le whainga malo ina ia whaia nisi awala i mawhai ai o na sefe le so ona whao ngai no tupe le malo e iai fo inisi o so saiete sa tarusanga ina le wheso soani le whaamsinonga i se awala e mawhai e ona te e antu i le polo inga sa mawhai foi o na maua se awanoa alau KVZK TV i se whaamatalaga mai le sunga le whaatonu le tu maula matanga ruenga o wheso soani lau tele po le DHSS ya panisia ne weli ini ya fianga o wheso soani o lo whaatupeina mai le wheturale. O nisi o afianga o le maua leo wheso soani masani o lo maua mai inisi vaenga o le matanga ruenga o lo wheso taifoi ma ofisa i Amerika o lo ngafa ma le whaasosoina mai o wheso soani mo le antunu u e ala mai i le matanga ruenga. Na mafuli umafina ngalo te mau le antunu u le tau na le la i le tofinga a le kovana sili mo le tofai ya ta anga sa i te molinga e avea ma komisina o le matanga ruenga o le puipuinga lau tele. Siang te le nei o le ripoti. I le taimi o le ilo ilonga na whaalia ai le tele o atunga lunga na whaalia te mau le antunu i le taimi no o antuai ta anga i le senate mo le whaamoni o lona tofinga e avea ai o ia ma komisina o le ofisa o leo leo. O le afionga le presidente ia tua olo mana i fruen o ia lea na tala malai fisili i vaenga uma e ao na sila i aile ua tofia e whai ma komisina o le ofisa o leo leo. O le tulanga i kawas o lo o whaia pea i te whaala o le tulanga lea na whaalia ia tunga lunga a tua olo o na ele usita i e nisi o tangata le tulafono.
Asko ngai sa o sia el moko. Amaka ko ia ua e kau i o i whanga i kua. Ku whakua la rua ngaka i mameo, ka was. E lengi whanga au se kulo, lengi. O mamlama lea foi au komsinga, o kere alau inga ngi me whape, e lengo ho mai cherry ma. Lima sfurfuku e oa i kua, ko kiki ala ves kangaka. O le pisiri o amea leo leo le whai. E a kongona kai au ngi leo folako li lau ko whar koko. E koe whamangako i a Terry foi fua malako i alo wawa i alo ofisaringi. Awa au kanga kai ola kula fo. Ranga na pia pule me kanga kula fo. Ala le pule. Ele ala na nga kaki ngofo ko inge ma ko fa kula fo.
O le isi mata upuna visiringi ai e tua o le tofa ia ta anga o ofisa o leo leo whai tu malo lea e i le afio ango whanga i tua maleone. A wai peo na saunua tua o lo ua whaisi levo na le tui whaonga aina nei ofisa ai tali ta anga e whapea.
O le ai foi le karkunga le koe foi mai le fionga le kovanga i whangua o le whai unga le masing fou ia e koe kalai ai a whanga i kua ma o leongi. O e ui anga a le o lava le ele men power le o lava ia me whainga ruenga. Ia le lava koe au mai umai kongu ia leo leo ma koe whakulanga le kulanga substation ia. Ia wai ngau a koe kai mer whamai. Ia wakapungi a koe substation. Ia wako ia ma leo leo. Mor kai min ngei se whiera o whionga preskenga mat pia moko. Wala kai lus furu le resign. Ya kalu mai le ingo fo inga le ngum ngai ma. Ya kulanga fo le pen kau kalangia le fo ngai winga I sailinga kupe ko fo wala. Ya le yo las ko ngai le ko ngai o e lunga wala malu malo mo le ngoe kalango ai I yo fa kai ya sailinga kupe le wala. Ya wa la fo makalanga lunga le o mo fa lo fa sainga kula fo a le ma ku le me kulanga sang le moi la ngu mo fa ngau lo wala ya me a fo le sang mo lo fiong ya ka wa ke le ka ule ko ka lo o le onge mo fa ngai ku mo le ko o ase pu nga lo nga o si fo ma mo sa ma ya se va nga la ku pu fa lo ko o lo ya a le ka ngu le ka ngu ya ka wa nga ye lo o wala a ku mai fa la ya fa ngo fia fo nga mo so swang
na toi fisiringi e tua olo I tulanga I au penga malosi po fe avea I le komisina ma malo le malo ni au penga malosi e talita anga e wha malamalama le tulanga.
O le vanga mo muanga o le kula fongo lo ka oko ingai. A ma o le komisina e wha ongaia I whanga I ngaruenga leo leo. On karsanga leo la whionga le kovanga. E mai whakanganga. O lo iai le policy inga ka oko mai komisina oko ngai. E mawhai iai unga o nga whaonga whanga I leo. Ai leo iai se malo se anga I laro kula fongo. E whio e leo mawhanga I la ngu. O mela ngā le lau sira leo whionga pleskengi. Ia leo o makamaka le iai kulanga lea. Langa eo mai ngeia. O rai ei vaenga o leo rai eo mawhanga I ainga. A la lau umanga whai e fuafuanga. Ia se whia whai lau whionga. O le se me e waku ia upenga ia ma ke wai. O le se amri. Ia Lela kau whakulanga se me I mwhaionga. A lo songa le mupe whangari ka mingi le. Le fwoi kau whai mele inventory mo sipsia I lo whionga. Ia, la awa o whai le inventory a uia maramkanga runga. Ke whio lopo a uma me leilalo o wainga leo. Whanga o ka vale o si ame umu. Ia a mawalo. Ia o ngai lolo me kau whai al mele sa wairo whionga winga I whanga. Ia o lo whae ke mingi, mo le ese maru si anga I laro, e o ilo leo mwhanga I inga lakungu. Mo I lawa le policy, requirements whaonga ingo whanga, ia ma le amingo leo, a lo I ese maru si anga, e mwhaingo ai ma whanga I kua I inga ma.
O le isi mata upuna fisiringi ai le sui presidente ia mga leilungo vi I le komisina. O le fuafuanga o le tue tu whaatasia lea o le tinei mu, o le matanga ruengo sa ilinga malaveai, whaapea ma le tuese, I lalo le matanga ruengo o le pui ngala tele, e talita anga I whaapea.
O le ngangai lau whionga sui presidente, o le whaonga ingo kaukua e mawhaionga ngā lue whakasi, wa kupu whawlawe, e kaunga o whakasi I le wankinga mu, o le wanga leo, ia ma le wanga search and rescue. O anga umoreo e ngā lue whakasi kei me kupoi whaulawa. E mwhai le soso a kupu ale ngā lue e le whaulawa ia o le mu. O le eile leo e mwhai o ngā pui ale nunga ngā io inga o le veku e si inga o kangaka. Ia ma soso angi controlling o traffic o le lako ngā function kei me o mu. Ia ranking a mu e kapel mu. O longa ngā fo i o le mele sa ngā elo whiong. O le whao ngā whakasi o resources e mwhai ngā whao ngā. Kanga whainga ruenga, ia me whainga ruenga. Ia wal melenge, ia a kupun mu, ia e wanga kinga mu, ia e murmulea ku leo leo. A ole, a konga paunga ole vahenga le fōwo whaasoa I le whionga le kovanga malu ken kovanga. A ia ise koe whaafoi mai le vahenga search and rescue. Wa e kusa leila kum ka whaioima, man ka whaioima leo leo. Ia ngā whainga whio lenga, ngā lue whaakasi, whaongai, ngā whainga ruenga. Whaonga kupe, makawale, me uma e whaonga ngā ruenga.
E tā ua fo I mga leila na saunoa ngai whaapea o lona taritonu ngai le mafuanga wa tele na whaamawai ai manu le manlo. Mai I o lantou ngā ruenga, o na e leo tutongi na overtime e maise o le le lamba o tutongi o li I matamaita I leo. O le tūlea na talosanga I nai e mga lei taanga, ina ia tanga I tutoa mawhaia ai se fuafuanga. E lua se furuvalu leo whai o I lātou na tu I nātu iai pepa whai lua ai a lātou soli tū la fono. E le vaengo le EPA, I nisio pisi nisi sa lātou le wha utangia ina le wha asao na toi wha o ngā ina le itu ai ngā pepa e ta ua le polystyrene foam. E lo se lau leo wha i o pisinisi o whale o loa ma whale ainga sa asia e le vaenga le EPA i le aso lusi furutasi ma le aso lusi furulua o le masina e tusai ma lala tau wha amalu si eina o le tula fono tolu walu se furu ma le lua e wha sa ayo na toi wha o ngaina wha tawina ma tufutufaina i tu tonu le territory i tu ainga unga po o pepa o lo ta o nei. O le tula fono sa sainia ina ua pasia le afionga i le kovana ia le manu pale poisia le ngā maunga i le masino Februari i le tausanga ua mawai. Sa fuafua le wha amalusia o le le toe talia ina o le toe au maia o le itu ai ngā pepa i tu tonu o le atunu i le masino me. Ma le wha sa ina o na toe wha tawina o lea o loa ia se tema o le tausanga lavalea. Peitai sa toi tolopo le tūlanga i le masina nei. O nau le manatu, se ia maea o na whaatawina e se atu e pisinisi nei o loa. Peitai o le asisinga le EPA nei nofuanga e lua se lau sa mawai nisi o pisinisi e le iusi ta ia le tūla fono e au fiai i lato nei e lua se fulma le valu.
Irisio tala o le sui au le territory au i whaatali au mo amata o lo ia whailo atu se lampata inga i atunu o atu moto le Pasifika o lo sainia whianga inga ma saina mo le mawai no le tamau ainga. Siau terenga nei o le ripoti.
Na ta ue ui whaatali e whaapea o le manudienga i le tūlanga i visa i le vau Samoa ma saina e ono whaafai fia i whimlanga ina i le vau atunu e lua mo o la tau ta ngata nuu. Ai ua tula i mai ai popolenga i le ono a fia i o Amerika mai si atunu whaatemo kalasi i le tui tau ta mau ainga ma le puipuinga o le tulangi. Na whaani e ui whaatali atonu se fuafuanga po whainga whaamalosi le a saina ina ia whaani ai le lango i le tui ta mau ainga ai ese le tūlanga o lo tuli loa ina e saina i le marilienga. Ua whautua ina ui whaatali, sa mua tuto tansi ina ia sila mamau i fuafuanga uma, a ole ia ngai i luma fuafuanga masaina e tusai ma le marilienga. E tari tonu ui whaatali, e te tau o na tau lai le tūla fono Amerika i le toi te talaino o ngā sami whangota whaai tūlangi, na tāpunia i le taimi o no fua i ngā o pama mapus. O le a avea lea, ma se whainga e pui ai a ia le atunu o Amerika i le area. O le toe te talaina o awanoa whangota, toe whausia o waa whangota whaapisinisi a Amerika, ma le whaarele anti le US Coast Guard i Amerika Samoa nei, o ni la sanga tāua i e whaamalusia, whaatasia i mana ongo le United States, ma whaali ai le malosi o le tautinonga i le Pasifika.
O le aso tōna ina mawai atu nei aso lua se furulima o le masino Januari sa amatali ai ta alonga a le American Youth Football of Samoa. O le wha sa whai le malai ta alo a veterani lupe le li tafuna.
Sa awai le awhionga i le sui kovana i a pulu matala ai junior o tō tino le sosaiete o a inga whapea i lanto uma o lo langolangoina le a wha Sa taite ina le sauninga pupu le sunga i le whawhenga inga ia sepi ulu o le e whaka asa a le awhio anga i whangatongo ma le manatu au tu e whapea tau talai upu le ola. Sa whaamamafa le upu whaamalosi a le au auna a le atua i le whaamalosi au i le au whaafafonga ina ia whaamalosi le isi e alai upu le ola. O le whaamoemoe ma lautua i le lofa ia whaongava noa e pei una maue nisi o alo ma whanau le antunu i talonga. Ai awane i ngalo upu le ola e whaasoa i le isi ina ia ola ma maua ai le whaamalosi au a waso i se tau mawhainga o lo whenga iai. Sa tu inatu le sosoani tupe le awhionga i le kovana le tumau i a pulu ai junior i le au whainga e lua awheta la e fe sosoani ai le whaamoemoe. Whapea fo i lana saunoanga whaamalosi au i le au taa alo, whapea leo fia sa iai. Ia alo ese mai whala au whaasaina na o puapua ngā e maua maiai, usitai mātua, ma ia ola masoifua mā tau i le atua.
I tātou tala mea pia e lantarante di se 10 kilo kalama le mafo whala au whaasaina o le aisa na mawaise ngā ruenga tu whaatasi a le matanga ruenga o tiute ma le matanga ruenga o leo ma e tau miliona le tupe e ono maua maiai. Siau terenga nei o le ripoti.
I se pepo whaamtalanga mai le matanga ruenga o tiute matupe maua, o se utau whala au whaasaina na maua, i le awhiawhio le ansolulu se furumaleiva, Januari 2025. O masini whaata po o le X-ray scanner, le olo i lungo le wafu, ma le fesosoani anita i whausongi, a le matanga ruenga o leo po le Police K9 Unit, le ana whaingo fiai o na maua nei oloa na tuina mai whaasolitu la fono. E le i mawhaio na mause fesau ta inga ma le komisina o matanga ruenga o leo i sono fina ngalo whaalia. I le tausanga taruai na saunua i le komisino leo le tofaya ua paau i Tino Filipo. I se tasi o whaatataranoanga o loo mautu le talitonunga o leo. O whafuato Samoa o loo whaau whale mai ei whala au whaasaina. Ma e leo malolo le matanga ruenga i le puipuingo Samoa mai le nei whaafitauli. O se tasi o li isa avea ma tangata whaingaruenga le ofisa o tiute. Sa whaamaunia ma whaasala tupe e le whaamasinonga. Ina ua manino whaamaunia o na mōrianga o le whauru whaleina mai lea o aisa i tutono le hantunu o i le masino Februari o le tausanga lua o ruatasi.
Usi mai alau mai mo i se whaingola tātu tau whapefu i le tai. O le atu whatuwhaina ripoti o le kwanta mua mua whanau wa o ngai le lau mua i Aua Elementary School i le aso tofi le aso a taeao Januari tolu se fulu le tausanga nei. Ma i le valu le taeao se ia pa ia le afo le lua i le afiafi. O le a whaia i foi le tuwhatuwhaino whailonga whaapitoa whaia onga ma le ofisa i le lava aso i le afo se fulu ma le lua i le awauli. O le whainga nau tātu tala mai lau KVZK le ngana Samoa tui motu fui sesi ona whaupoponga i le aso a teau manuia telewhainga marulonga le tātu tino o tō whāsefua. Federal freeze is officially revoked. Senate unanimously confirmed Taanga Saite Molinga as TPS Commissioner. And 28 citations to businesses not following Styrofoam ban law. Talo Falava, and here's your news from KVZK TV. Leading to news tonight, the Trump administration has officially revoked a controversial memo that imposed a freeze on federal funding across all government agencies. Here is more.
The decision responds to widespread criticism from various stakeholders, including lawmakers and advocacy groups, who argued that the funding freeze was unconstitutional and could severely hinder essential services in the United States of America and its U.S. territories. The memo raised concerns about its potential impact on the programs that rely on federal funding, leading to calls for a reassessment of the administration's approach to budgetary allocations. According to American media outlets, a federal judge signaled he would issue a temporary restraining order barring the Trump administration from freezing federal loans and grants. This raises concerns that the White House will try to enact the same policy described in the now rescinded memo from the Office of Management and Budget. District Court Judge John McConnell Jr. has not entered the temporary restraining order, given the rapidly changing circumstances, but signaled he would sign an order proposed by the 22 state attorneys general who brought the case. In a short memo, Matthew Vaith, the acting director of the Office of Management and Budget, noted that the OMB memorandum M-25-13 has been rescinded and that questions about implementing the president's executive orders can be directed to the agency's general counsel. The new directive follows a tumultuous 48 hours for the White House as states and local governments raised concerns that funding for health care, law enforcement, disaster aid, and infrastructure spending could be paused or delayed during the expansive rollout of the policy. On island, government departments and nonprofit organizations that receive federal grants urgently sought action from the federal grantors about how President Trump's freeze of services and personnel on Tuesday. Several organizations held conference calls with the federal partners yesterday morning to gather more information. Yesterday, Panisia Neweli, the acting director of the Department of Human and Social Services, noted that they were working to draw down approved federal grants in response to KVZK TV queries, adding when they received the memo on Tuesday, they had a conference call with their funders to obtain guidelines on continuing their programs. Furthermore, the acting director said the potential impacts and challenges include their clients not receiving their benefits and services from their different divisions. Also, they contacted their federal grantors to determine the implications of the pause on numerous programs. Based on the guidance provided, the department, program, and services will continue to provide the best possible services for the people of American Samoa. Joyetta Whengai Mali'i with your news on KVZK.
In other news, Ta'anga Saite Molinga has been unanimously confirmed by the Senate as the Commissioner of Public Safety with a vote count of 16. The confirmation followed Ta'anga's hearing this morning. Here is more on this report.
The reopening of the substations in Leone and Whangaitua, lack of manpower, roadside car wash, armory, and the evidence room were among the issues raised during the morning confirmation hearing for Ta'anga Saite Molinga in the Senate. According to Ta'anga, the substation in Leone and Whangaitua are projected to reopen by the end of next month. When appointed, the governor identified this reopening as a key priority, reflecting the administration's commitment to enhancing public safety and community accessibility to law enforcement resources. Ta'anga explained that the root of the current operational challenges is a significant resource deficiency, notably in personnel and essential equipment. He said that approximately 20 police officers have resigned since the new administration began its term, a notable turnover that has inevitably contributed to the delays in reopening the substations. This situation underscores the pressing need for stability within the police force and highlights the importance of retention strategies for personnel in critical public safety roles. In addition, Ta'anga addressed the rising concerns regarding the proliferation of car washes along the roadside during weekends, which have become a focal point for community complaints. Senate President Tua'olo Manaiefruin expressed safety concerns and noted that the authorities should act on these car wash operations. However, police officers' enforcement of relevant regulations is insufficient. Tua'olo emphasized the necessity of law enforcement presence during such activities, questioning officers' whereabouts when they are most needed. Tua'olo articulated that a lack of enforcement leads to a perception of neglect regarding the public safety, and he asserted that accountability must be upheld among law enforcement personnel. Ta'anga agreed, confirming that enforcing existing regulations concerning roadside car washes will be prioritized moving forward. He acknowledged the importance of maintaining law and order in the community and committed to addressing citizens' concerns. Furthermore, the Senate President sought clarification regarding whether the commissioner is equipped with a firearm. Ta'anga provided an overview of the policy governing the arming of police officers in the territory. He explained originally the policy requires the approval of the governor for officers to be armed while on duty. However, this policy has evolved. Officers are permitted to carry their firearms at all times, including taking them home, a significant shift from previous protocols where firearms were secured at the station after shifts. This change raises concerns about weapon security and officer accountability. Additionally, Ta'anga pointed out the Department of Public Safety currently lacks a designated armory for the secure storage of police weapons, further complicating the situation and highlighting this as a crucial priority on his agenda for reform and improvement in departmental operations. Tuaolo warned that allowing officers to be armed poses a significant safety risk. Ta'anga informed the senators during the confirmation process that a memorandum of understanding is pending approval with the Department of Search and Rescue. This agreement will facilitate the utilization of their manpower to assist the police in performing their duties. Ta'anga emphasized that while firefighters and Marine Patrol officers currently respond solely to emergency calls, their involvement could enhance the police force's operations. Additionally, he noted that the Marine Patrol Division possesses the necessary manpower, financial resources, vehicles, and equipment to support law enforcement efforts. This critical information has also been communicated to the governor and lieutenant governor. Joyeta Fiangay Mali with your news on KVZK.
Inspectors from the American Samoa Environmental Protection Agency, or ASEPA, visited over 200 retail establishments and dining facilities throughout the territory to enforce the ban on styrofoam, as specified by the Public Law 3812.
Court hearings regarding this matter are scheduled for next month. Penalties for initial violations begin at $300. The 38th Legislature enacted Public Law 38-12 and subsequently signed into law by then-Governor Lemanu Palipoi Selingamonga on the 6th of February last year. The prohibition on importing polystyrene foam containers became effective in May last year, and the sales ban was established to take effect 6 months thereafter. The ASEPA, which is responsible for enforcing this legislation, postponed the enforcement to January this year. This extension gave businesses sufficient time to deplete their legally imported stock. Furthermore, ASEPA inspectors will continue conducting regular inspections across the island to ensure compliance with the law. The acting director of ASEPA, Edna Nonga, urged both the public and business community to collaborate in enhancing the quality of life in American Samoa. She said, and I quote, "American Samoa remains a beacon of hope for many, as we are fortunate to have thrived on our natural resources over the years. As custodians and inhabitants of the environments, our collective and primary responsibility is to safeguard the ecosystem upon which all life depends," unquote. Joyeta Fiangay Mali with your news on KVZK.
In other news, Congresswoman Uifatali Amuamata is sounding a note of caution to Pacific Island nations that signs agreement with China for economic interest. Here is more.
Amata noted that the new visa exemption agreement between Samoa and China may facilitate travel between the two countries for their citizens, but it raises concerns about the potential cost to U.S. and other democratic nations' economic and security interests in the region. According to Amata, some might view this as an aggressive move by China, presenting itself as a friendly gesture while pursuing deeper interest beyond mere tourism or basic trade development. She cited Palau as an example and emphasized that China excels at generating economic growth but can swiftly withdraw that support if its broader policy goals are not fully accepted. Amata advises Samoa to proceed with caution and maintain a careful distance before deepening its ties with China. Often, the promised economic benefits from China do not materialize as expected and tend to disproportionately benefit one side. Congresswoman Amata believes U.S. policy should focus on reopening regional fishing waters that were closed during the Obama and Bush administrations. This would serve as a countermeasure to protect U.S. national interests in the area. Reopening fishing access, rebuilding the U.S. commercial fishing fleet, and enhancing the U.S. Coast Guard presence in American Samoa are important steps that collectively reinforce the United States' interest and demonstrate a stronger commitment to the Pacific. Additionally, the U.S. Departments of State and Homeland Security, along with local government officials, may need to reconsider tightening entry requirements for individuals coming from Samoa to American Samoa as a response. Nunu Yasulele with your KVZK News.
The 16th season of the American Youth Football of Samoa, or AYFS, kicked off last Saturday at Veterans Memorial Stadium, Le Malaya Lulupelele. Here is more.
Among the attendees were Acting Governor Pulu Mataala II Jr., the members and families and cheerleading squads. Reverend Yasepi Ulu from the Congregational Christian Church of American Samoa in Whangatongo delivered the opening sermon, urging attendees to speak life. Reverend Yasepi emphasized that achievements come not from individual strength, but from God's will, encouraging everyone to share words of life, hope, and love with teammates, friends, and family. He acknowledged the inspirations of many participants to reach the NFL, citing Frankie Luvu of the Washington Commanders as an example of someone who started his journey through this program. By speaking life, we pray that you will all have similar opportunities, he said. Reverend Ulu closed with an encouraging message. May you have the wisdom, heart, and discipline to play, but most importantly, remember to speak life. Acting Governor Pulu Matala II Jr. expressed gratitude for the opportunity to speak on behalf of Governor Pulali'i Nicolau Pula. As a strong advocate for our youth, it's a privilege to be here, he remarked. I believe our children represent the future of American Samoa, and I appreciate the AYFS president and members for their dedication to this program over the past 16 years. Pulu encouraged players to obey your parents, coaches, and teachers as the Bible states. Honor your father and your mother, and things will go well for you. He generously donated $2,000 to the American Youth Football League in support of the program. In his closing remarks, the governor urged the youth to remain committed to obedience and use this program as a path to a brighter future. He pointed out the dangers of drugs, saying, "Avoid this destructive path, for it brings nothing but hardship. Obey your parents, live a life devoted to God, and blessings will flow abundantly." AYFS President Mr. Victor of Avalos thanked the governor for his inspiring words and expressed gratitude to the American Samoa government, sponsors, players, and families for their support. The AYFS season features 6 teams and 1 cheer squad. Best wishes to all for a memorable 16th season. Nunu Yasulele with your KVZK News.
News from Apia, Samoa's Ministry of Customs and Revenue seized what is believed to be more than 4 million worth of crystal methamphetamine from a container belonging to a local business in Lotupa on Wednesday evening. This marks the largest drug haul in the country's history. Here's more.
The MCR has confirmed the seizure of 10 kilograms of crystal meth. The illegal substance was detected using a combination of profiling, a container X-ray scanner, and a joint operation with the police K9 unit. According to the statement, the substance was confirmed using NYK test kits, and further tests will be conducted. Details will be provided once all procedures are completed. Police Commissioner Awapa'aulo Etino Filippo praised the efforts of customs officials and acknowledged the scale of the operation. He confirmed that following the bust, police searched a local business in Lotupa believed to have been involved in the importation of illicit drugs. The investigation continued to the customs compound in Matautu. Awapa'au emphasized the significance of the seizure, noting that it represented a substantial amount of illicit drugs being smuggled into Samoa. The operation was hailed as a significant success for the country's border enforcement agencies. with authorities stressing the importance of continued vigilance in the fight against drug trafficking. The investigation is ongoing, with more details expected once all documentation is finalized. Recent drug busts in Fiji indicate a rising prevalence of methamphetamine in the Pacific, beyond being just a transit point. Last week, police seized 1 ton of meth, some hidden in kava bags, marking the second significant bust in a week. On January 14th, over 3 tons were confiscated, now under 24-hour surveillance. According to Assistant Commissioner Ms. Sakewaga, the drugs were found in both crystal and powder forms, concealed in over 300 containers. Some were packaged as kava made in Fiji, while others were in boxes of tile adhesive. Nunu Yasulele with your KVZK News.
Stay tuned for your weather report and tide report. Aua Elementary School will hold its first semester PTC on Thursday, January 30th from 8 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. We will also hold our first semester award ceremony at 12:30 p.m. Parents, please visit your child's teacher and discuss their progress for the first quarter. That concludes your news from KVZK TV. Have a pleasant evening. Tofasifua.